Welcome, guys. It's Aaron Villarreal with another episode of Southern California Perspectives. I am on the way, coming right out of like Yorba, Anaheim Hills area, coming to heading into Chino Hills, and I wanted to hop on and say, hey, I'm getting on the newly renovated 71 on-ramp from the 91 going up towards Green River. And I just wanted to jump on and talk to you about, well, we made it to February. It's February, and we are at February 2nd now, and the real estate market is heating up. I am seeing a lot more activity this year than I have in the last even couple of years this time of year, and that is a great thing and exciting for especially my sellers and buyers, of course, that are looking to do something this year. But yeah, I wanted to jump on and talk to you a little bit about basically as we're driving through here, not many people realize what it's like to sell a home in 2026 or even super recently, and what it takes to do it. I'm heading right now to my media day appointment with my client in Chino Hills. They need to be a contingent buyer and seller, and they want to get into Orange County, and so we're getting everything photographed today and videography and all that good stuff to get it ready for posting in the MLS and hitting the market when we find that right property. But the main thing that genuinely comes up for most sellers, whether they or a tenant is living in the property they want to sell, is, well, what do I have to do, Aaron, to get it ready? And getting a home ready for the market could mean a lot of things depending on the person, the people involved, and of course the property itself and its condition. But one of the biggest things that comes up is just simply decluttering. Now, that can be difficult if you still live in the property. It can be more challenging, but decluttering is an essential part of the recipe with how I get things sold, your home sold, because decluttering allows for people, potential prospective buyers and their agents, to envision their personal property in your property when they're coming to see your home. So whether you live there or not, the point is we want to leave your home in a clean, blank slate kind of condition, tidied up and decluttered. So what I mean by decluttering is mostly focused on, as many open blank surfaces as you can. So if you have, your kitchen counter, for instance, and you typically will, maybe a few times a week have like a blender out or something like that. Well, put that away for media day. Put that away for media day. Then you can pop it right back out. No harm, no foul. Media day doesn't typically take more than a couple of hours unless it's a large estate. And, for a general 3 to 4 or even 2-bedroom home, it's usually about an hour or two, if that. And so, generally putting things away, even temporarily. Another one that comes up a lot is like shampoo bottles in the bathroom, in the shower, or soap containers, or, even just sometimes people don't realize it, but, they're hanging laundry or whatever. Like, put as much personal property away as possible. Another thing that comes up is for your personal privacy. Sometimes sellers or the tenants don't want their family photos or pictures of anyone in their family that might be hanging on a wall, for instance, in the photography, just for privacy reasons. Well, that's okay. Take them down real quick. Or if it's way too much to take down, make sure that your agent knows, like, hey, Aaron, would you mind, professionally editing my family photos out of them and just make them generic photos? I can do that too. I can do it digitally with my media guys. But all that said, decluttering is an essential piece, because when you are a prospective buyer walking through a property, what are you trying to envision? Are you trying to envision the other people's random stuff scattered about? Or, on the other hand, are you trying to envision yourself, your things, your family possibly, your pets, your personal property in that house. I would argue pretty much everyone is the latter. And, it shows that too. Homes that are photographed, whether it's professional photography or not, which I highly, highly insist on, by the way, but those homes that are photographed with less personal property will be easier for the public to envision their things in. And that goes a long way towards selling your home, because if it's so cluttery and hard to get around, if you will, like if there's just a lot of stuff, maybe you've been living in a tight, crammed living situation in your current home, getting rid of things, like purging obviously works as well. But the other big thing as we exit here at Sokol Canyon Parkway here in Chino Hills, the other thing is just decluttering enough to where, people can imagine, maybe I can put my family photos there on that wall, or possibly on that shelf, or what have you. And just make it easy for people to have their vision, because that excitement is a big piece to the equation. When you go to buy a home, there's a lot to put into consideration, but envisioning what it could look like for you is a big part that contributes to your excitement and, frankly, in my opinion, your intent to actually follow through with buying said home. So with all that in mind, decluttering, guys, it's an important piece to the equation. Obviously keeping it clean as well, clean and tidy, broom swept, if you will, like that can help certainly a lot. But generally just making it easy for people to be like, oh, I could live here. That's the idea, you know what I mean? Or not even, I could live here. I'm excited to live here, even more so. That goes a really long way as well. But all in all, whether you're buying or selling here in 2026, there's a lot to consider. This market, especially depending on which little microcosm you or your niche property may reside, there's a lot to take into consideration. And a listing agent like myself, I primarily am a listing agent year over year. I have a lot of advice that I would love to share with you. And even if your possible real estate plans or goals could be a little ways away, like even years away, preparation early just allows you for plenty of time to plan and prepare in case there's maybe a project that you have to finish. Maybe you're I don't know, maybe you have to paint the house first, or maybe you want to get that carpet changed out because it's looking a little dingy and cleaning it wouldn't even revive it, or maybe you've got to get a new roof on, and you got to save up for that, or what have you. Planning those things out and talking with your real estate professional, that way I can give you insight as to what will give you the best bang for your buck, ROI, return on your investment and your money and your dollars and pennies. That goes a long way, because there's certain projects I sometimes will tell clients, especially sellers, like, hey, that's probably not going to be worth it, because you might not get your money back out of it. Like a popular one these days that comes up a lot is, hey, Aaron, should I convert that garage to an ADU? Maybe because it would be an ADU, it would do better on the market. And it's like, well, ADUs can be pricey. I'm not saying that it couldn't necessarily work out, but depending on the rest of your property, it might actually blow your budget. Instead, maybe updating that countertop in the bathroom could be a better use of your money, because then it'll match the stone that you chose in the kitchen, as opposed to the original, tile or whatever it may be. But, all that considered, I'm always here as a resource for you. I would love to talk with you, like I said, whether it's 2026, 27, 28, whenever it may be that you're considering having real estate plans. I want to be that resource and go-to agent for you. So give me a call next time or anytime you're ready, even now. Would love to talk. Thanks again for joining here on Southern California Perspectives, Aaron Villarreal Real Estate on here in Southern California. I'm glad you're here. Super grateful that you joined and followed along. And please like and subscribe to keep me going with all this and my posts and content. Really grateful for each and every one of you. Thanks, guys.